Hello there, and welcome to the Scientist Sleepy. Tonight, we embark on a gentle exploration, a calm lecture into the fascinating phenomena of ecosystems. We will delve into the fundamental principles that govern the intricate web of life that surrounds us, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale. Prepare for a journey of profound discovery, a quiet investigation of how everything is connected. We'll uncover the extraordinary ways energy flows, how nutrients cycle, and how life on Earth creates a delicate balance. It's a surprisingly beautiful tapestry, woven from countless interactions, a cinematic wonder just waiting to be explored. As we begin, settle in, find your comfortable space, and allow yourself to drift into a state of peaceful curiosity. We'll begin with a look at how ecosystems are defined by interconnectedness. An ecosystem at its heart isn't simply a collection of plants and animals. It's a dynamic, interwoven network, a carefully balanced community of living organisms, the biotic components, interacting with their non-living environment, the abiotic components. Think of a forest, a coral reef, a vast, open ocean, or even a small pond in your backyard. Each is an ecosystem, a testament to the intricate dance of life. The concept of interconnectedness means that every element within an ecosystem is linked, directly or indirectly, to every other element. A change in one part of the system invariably affects the others, creating a ripple effect. This is the essence of how these complex systems function, how they maintain their delicate balance. Consider the trees in a forest. They provide shade, regulate the local temperature, and offer a habitat for countless creatures. Their roots anchor the soil, preventing erosion. The fallen leaves enrich the soil, providing nutrients for future growth. The insects that feed on the trees are, in turn, consumed by birds, which then deposit seeds, spreading the forest's reach. The water that falls on the forest is filtered by the soil and taken up by the roots of trees, and it also forms streams and rivers that flow into other ecosystems. Everything, from the smallest microbe to the largest mammal, plays a role. The non-living components, the abiotic factors, are just as crucial. These include sunlight, water, temperature, soil composition, and the availability of nutrients. These factors shape the environment and determine which organisms can thrive there. For example, a desert ecosystem is characterized by high temperatures, low rainfall, and sandy soil. These conditions limit the types of plants and animals that can survive there, resulting in a unique community adapted to the harsh environment. In contrast, a rainforest ecosystem is characterized by high rainfall, warm temperatures, and nutrient-rich soil, supporting a vast array of life. The interconnectedness is evident in the flow of energy and nutrients throughout the system. Plants, through photosynthesis, capture the sun's energy. Herbivores consume the plants, gaining energy. Carnivores consume the herbivores, transferring the energy further up the food chain. Decomposers break down dead organisms, returning nutrients to the soil, which are then taken up by plants, starting the cycle anew. The water cycle is another example of interconnectedness. Water evaporates from the soil and bodies of water, forms clouds, and returns to Earth as precipitation, replenishing the ecosystem. The carbon cycle, the nitrogen cycle, the phosphorus cycle, all are examples of how elements are constantly moving through the system, connecting living and non-living components. Understanding this interconnectedness is crucial for appreciating the fragility of ecosystems. When one element is disrupted, the entire system can be affected. Pollution, habitat destruction, and climate change are all examples of human activities that can disrupt these delicate balances. A change in one part of the system invariably affects the others, creating a ripple effect. This is the essence of how these complex systems function, how they maintain their delicate balance. The study of ecosystems is a complex and fascinating field, a testament to the intricate and delicate balance of life on Earth. As we journey through this exploration, remember that every living thing, every abiotic factor, is a piece of the puzzle, contributing to the grand tapestry of life. The beauty of interconnectedness lies in the fact that everything is linked, a reminder that we are all part of something larger than ourselves, a vast and complex web of existence. Poetic summary, asterisk. In the quiet of your mind, consider the interconnectedness of all things, a gentle whisper reminding you of your own place within the grand, flowing river of existence, where every breath, every thought, is a ripple in the vast ocean of being. Ecosystems are defined by interconnectedness. Hello there, and welcome to the Scientist Sleepy. Tonight, we embark on a gentle exploration, a calm lecture into the fascinating world of ecosystems. Our journey begins with a fundamental principle, a profound concept that underpins all life: interconnectedness. Prepare for an extraordinary, surprising look at how everything is linked. Consider for a moment a single verdant meadow. At first glance, it might appear a collection of disparate elements, grass swaying in the breeze, a few wildflowers blooming, perhaps a rabbit darting across the open space. Yet this meadow, like any ecosystem, is far more than the sum of its parts. It's a complex web, a tapestry woven with threads of interactions, dependencies, and influences. Everything within it is connected, intricately linked in a delicate dance of life and death, growth and decay. The very air you breathe, the soil beneath your feet, the sunlight that warms the earth, all are integral components. The plants, the primary producers, capture the sun's energy, transforming it into the fuel of life. They are the foundation, the base of the food web. The herbivores, like our rabbit, consume these plants, drawing energy from them. The carnivores, the predators, in turn consume the herbivores, and so the cycle continues, a constant flow of energy and matter. Even the seemingly inert elements, the rocks, the water, play their crucial roles. Water, for instance, nourishes the plants, while the rocks provide minerals that the plants need to thrive. The interconnectedness is evident in the intricate relationships between species. Pollinators, such as bees and butterflies, are essential for the reproduction of many plants. They move pollen from flower to flower, enabling the plants to create seeds and spread their offspring. In return, the pollinators receive nectar, a sweet reward that fuels their own survival. And the soil itself, a seemingly simple substance, is teeming with life. Microorganisms, bacteria, fungi, and other decomposers break down organic matter, returning essential nutrients to the soil, nourishing the plants and completing the cycle. The absence of just one of these components, one single thread in this web, could have far-reaching consequences. Remove the pollinators, for instance, and many plants would struggle to reproduce. Eliminate the decomposers, and nutrients would not be recycled, leading to a decline in plant health. Disrupt the water cycle, and the entire system would begin to falter. This interconnectedness isn't just about food chains and energy flow. It extends to the physical environment as well. The presence of trees, for instance, can influence the local climate, providing shade, reducing wind speed, and releasing moisture into the air through transpiration. The roots of the plants help to prevent soil erosion, keeping the land stable. Even the very shape of the landscape, the topography, affects how water flows, where plants can grow, and where animals can find shelter. The impact of one element ripples outwards, affecting everything else within the ecosystem. The strength of an ecosystem lies in its diversity. The more diverse an ecosystem is, the more resilient it is to change. A complex web of interactions with multiple species playing similar roles provides a buffer against disturbances. If one species is lost, others can often fill the gap, preventing the collapse of the entire system. Consider a forest, a rich tapestry of life. If a disease wipes out one type of tree, other trees can still provide food and shelter for the animals, helping the ecosystem to survive. This complex interplay, this continuous exchange, is what truly defines an ecosystem. It is a dynamic, evolving system, constantly adapting to changes in the environment. The concept of interconnectedness also extends beyond the boundaries of a single ecosystem. All ecosystems are, in fact, interconnected. They interact with each other, exchanging energy, matter, and even organisms. A river, for example, might flow through multiple ecosystems, carrying nutrients and organisms from one place to another. Birds can migrate across vast distances, connecting different ecosystems through their movements. The oceans, vast and interconnected, link together all the terrestrial ecosystems by means of climate patterns and atmospheric gases. The entire biosphere, the sum of all ecosystems on Earth, is a single, interconnected web of life. Understanding this interconnectedness is key to understanding how ecosystems function and how they respond to change. It is essential for managing and conserving these vital systems, for ensuring the health of our planet, and for our own well-being. The realization of this profound truth reminds us that we are all, in essence, part of this intricate web, this delicate dance. The air we breathe, the food we eat, the water we drink, all are derived from the same source, the same interconnectedness. In the quiet stillness of this awareness, you can find a sense of belonging, a sense of peace. Sunlight is the primary energy source for most ecosystems. The vast majority of ecosystems on Earth, from the deepest ocean trenches to the highest mountain peaks, are fundamentally powered by the sun. This radiant energy, emanating from a star 150 million kilometers away, is the driving force behind nearly all life processes. It's a remarkable example of cosmic influence, a continuous flow of energy that sustains the intricate web of interactions we call an ecosystem. The sun's energy arrives as light, a spectrum of electromagnetic radiation, and it's captured and converted into a usable form by the producers, primarily plants, through the process of photosynthesis. Without this initial input of solar energy, the entire structure of the ecosystem would collapse. The sun's energy not only provides the fuel for the primary producers, but also influences the climate, which in turn shapes the distribution of species and the overall characteristics of an ecosystem. The intensity of sunlight varies depending on latitude, season, and time of day, creating gradients of temperature and light that further influence the types of organisms that can thrive in a particular environment. In aquatic ecosystems, sunlight penetrates the water column to varying depths, determining the zones where photosynthetic organisms can survive. The availability of sunlight is a critical factor in determining the productivity of an ecosystem. More sunlight generally leads to higher rates of photosynthesis, and consequently, a greater abundance of life. Even ecosystems that appear to be independent of the sun, such as those found near hydrothermal vents deep in the ocean, ultimately rely on the sun's energy, albeit indirectly. These vent communities are supported by chemosynthetic bacteria that derive energy from chemical compounds released by the vents, but these chemicals were originally produced through processes powered by the sun. The sun's influence extends beyond the immediate energy transfer. It also drives the global cycles of water, carbon, and other essential nutrients. The evaporation of water, the movement of air currents, and the seasonal changes in temperature are all powered by solar energy, shaping the environment and influencing the dynamics of ecosystems worldwide. The sun's role as the primary energy source underscores the interconnectedness of life on Earth. Every organism, from the smallest bacterium to the largest whale, is ultimately dependent on this celestial power source. This dependency highlights the fragility of ecosystems and the importance of protecting the environment from activities that could disrupt the sun's influence, such as climate change and pollution. The sun is a constant, a giver of life, and a reminder of the fundamental forces that shape our world. The energy it provides is not only the fuel for life, but also the source of the beauty and complexity we see in nature. The sun, a distant star, silently fuels the intricate dance of life, a constant reminder of the profound interconnectedness that binds us all. Plants convert sunlight into usable energy through photosynthesis. Within the grand theater of an ecosystem, the humble plant occupies a pivotal role, a silent alchemist transforming the raw energy of the sun into the very fuel that powers nearly all life. This remarkable process, known as photosynthesis, is a fundamental pillar of our planet's biological architecture, a testament to the elegant efficiency of nature's designs. Consider for a moment the sun's radiant energy, a torrent of photons streaming across vast distances. This light, this ceaseless energy, is captured by the plants, specifically through specialized structures called chloroplasts, which reside within the plant cells. Within these chloroplasts, the magic truly unfolds. The key to this transformation lies in a pigment called chlorophyll, which gives plants their characteristic green hue. Chlorophyll acts like an antenna, absorbing the sun's light. Once the light energy is captured, it is used to drive a series of intricate chemical reactions. These reactions, the essence of photosynthesis, are meticulously orchestrated. First, water is drawn up from the soil through the roots, traveling up the plant's vascular system to the leaves. Simultaneously, carbon dioxide, a gas present in the atmosphere, enters the leaves through tiny pores called stomata. These two ingredients, water and carbon dioxide, are the raw materials for photosynthesis. Using the light energy absorbed by chlorophyll, the plant then converts these raw materials into glucose, a type of sugar. This glucose is a simple carbohydrate, a form of energy that the plant can use for its own growth, development, and other life processes. Think of it as the plant's food, its source of power. But photosynthesis isn't just about creating food for the plant. As a byproduct of this process, oxygen is released into the atmosphere. This oxygen, the very air we breathe, is a crucial element for the survival of countless organisms, including ourselves. The entire process, from capturing sunlight to producing glucose and releasing oxygen, is a marvel of biological engineering. It is a complex dance of chemical reactions, meticulously orchestrated within the plant's cells. The plant's ability to perform photosynthesis is the foundation of most food chains. As plants are the primary producers, the originators of energy flow in almost every ecosystem. They are the architects of life's energy, converting the sun's limitless power into a form that can be used by all other living things, from tiny insects to the largest mammals. Without this crucial process, the abundance and diversity of life on Earth would simply not exist. The plants, therefore, are not just passive participants in the ecosystem, but active contributors, continuously working to sustain life. They are, in a sense, solar-powered factories, quietly and efficiently converting the sun's light into the energy that sustains our world. This process also plays a vital role in regulating the Earth's climate by absorbing carbon dioxide, a major greenhouse gas. The efficiency and elegance of photosynthesis, a process born of sunlight, water, and air, continues to inspire scientists and engineers as they seek to harness the power of the sun in new and sustainable ways. The quiet green of the plant, therefore, holds the story of life itself. The plant, in its patient transformation of light, reminds us that even the simplest acts can have the most profound consequences, shaping the very fabric of existence. Producers form the foundation of every food web. In the intricate tapestry of life, the producers stand as the unsung architects, the fundamental building blocks upon which entire ecosystems are constructed. These remarkable organisms, primarily plants, algae, and certain bacteria, hold the unique ability to harness the sun's radiant energy and convert it into a form of sustenance that fuels the rest of the natural world. This process, known as photosynthesis, is a marvel of biological engineering, a quiet miracle occurring constantly, silently, and invisibly around us. Producers are the primary energy converters, the first link in every food chain, and the very reason life on Earth flourishes in such abundance and diversity. Consider the role of a towering oak tree in a forest. It absorbs sunlight through its leaves, employing chlorophyll, a pigment that gives plants their green color to capture the sun's energy. This energy is then used to transform carbon dioxide from the air and water from the soil into glucose, a type of sugar that acts as the tree's food. Oxygen, a byproduct of this process, is released into the atmosphere, a gift to all breathing creatures. Without the oak tree and countless other plants like it, the energy flow within the ecosystem would cease, and the forest, as we know it, would vanish. The significance of producers extends far beyond the individual plant. They are the base of the food web, the network of interconnected feeding relationships that describes how energy flows through an ecosystem. Herbivores, or plant-eating animals, depend directly on producers for sustenance. They graze on grasses, browse on leaves, and consume the fruits of plants, effectively harvesting the energy that the producers have captured. These herbivores, in turn, become food for carnivores, or meat-eating animals, who then acquire energy indirectly from the producers. Decomposers, such as fungi and bacteria, break down dead plants and animals, returning nutrients back to the soil, which are then absorbed by producers, completing the cycle. The influence of producers also extends to the broader ecosystem. They provide habitat for countless organisms, from insects and birds to mammals. They stabilize soil, preventing erosion and contributing to the overall health of the environment. They play a crucial role in regulating the Earth's climate by absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere, a process known as carbon sequestration. Their presence dictates the structure and function of the entire ecosystem, determining what other species can survive and thrive in a particular environment. The diversity of producers is as remarkable as their function. From the microscopic algae that form the base of marine food webs to the giant sequoia trees that dominate ancient forests, the variety of producers is a testament to the adaptability and resilience of life. Each type of producer has evolved unique strategies to capture sunlight, acquire nutrients, and survive in its specific environment. They range from the vibrant coral reefs teeming with photosynthetic algae to the vast grasslands dominated by grasses and wildflowers. The health and abundance of producers directly influence the health and abundance of the rest of the ecosystem. When producers thrive, so do the consumers and decomposers. When producers are threatened, through habitat loss, pollution, or climate change, the entire ecosystem suffers. The importance of protecting and preserving producers cannot be overstated. By safeguarding the plants, algae, and bacteria that form the foundation of our food webs, we are protecting the interconnected web of life itself. The delicate balance of an ecosystem is, in essence, the reflection of the health of its producers. In the depths of the ocean, the microscopic phytoplankton, floating freely, perform their photosynthetic magic. On land, the vast green expanse of forests and grasslands silently convert sunlight into energy. In deserts, specialized plants like cacti and succulents have adapted to capture the sun's energy in harsh conditions. Even in the seemingly barren landscapes, life finds a way to flourish, thanks to the persistent work of producers. They are the essential link, the foundation upon which the world as we know it is built. They are the silent providers, the unseen heroes, the fundamental source of energy for every breath, every movement, and every heartbeat within the intricate dance of life. The producers are constantly working, unseen, unheard, and yet profoundly impacting everything around them, shaping the world in which we live. The calm of a forest, the gentle sway of grasses in the wind, the stillness of a sunlit lake. All of these are testaments to the quiet, persistent work of producers. Consumers obtain energy by eating other organisms. Consumers, in the intricate dance of life within an ecosystem, are the organisms that cannot produce their own food. Instead, they must obtain energy by consuming other organisms. This fundamental process defines their role in the food web and fuels their survival. Unlike the producers, the plants and other organisms that harness the sun's energy, consumers rely on a pre-existing source of energy stored within the bodies of other living things. This reliance establishes a chain of dependency, a delicate balance of predator and prey, herbivore and plant. Consumers can be broadly classified into several categories based on their diet. Herbivores, as the name suggests, are the plant eaters. They graze on grasses, browse on leaves, and consume fruits and seeds. Examples of herbivores include deer, rabbits, and many insects. Their digestive systems are often adapted to efficiently break down the tough cellulose found in plant cell walls. Then there are carnivores, the meat-eaters, which hunt and consume other animals. Lions, wolves, and hawks are prime examples of carnivores. Their bodies are built for hunting and capturing prey, with sharp teeth, strong claws, and keen senses. Omnivores, on the other hand, are the generalists of the consumer world. They eat both plants and animals. Humans, bears, and raccoons are all examples of omnivores, their diets reflecting their adaptability to various food sources. The act of consumption is not merely about obtaining energy. It is also a vital mechanism for nutrient transfer. When a consumer eats an organism, it absorbs the nutrients that organism has accumulated. These nutrients, such as carbon, nitrogen, and phosphorus, become incorporated into the consumer's body, fueling its growth, reproduction, and other life processes. This transfer of nutrients is crucial for the cycling of elements within the ecosystem, ensuring that essential resources are continually available to all organisms. The feeding relationships between consumers and their prey or food sources create a complex network of interactions. These interactions, known as food webs, illustrate the flow of energy and nutrients through an ecosystem. Each organism occupies a specific position in the food web, depending on its diet. The arrows in a food web point in the direction of energy flow, from the organism being consumed to the consumer. These webs are not static. They change over time, influenced by factors such as population fluctuations, environmental changes, and the introduction of new species. The efficiency of energy transfer between consumers is a critical factor in ecosystem dynamics. When a consumer eats a prey, it only obtains a fraction of the energy stored in the prey's body. A significant portion of the energy is lost as heat during metabolic processes, such as respiration and digestion. This loss of energy at each trophic level, or feeding level, limits the number of consumers that an ecosystem can support. The higher up the food chain, the less energy is available, which is why there are typically fewer top predators than lower-level consumers or producers. The choices that consumers make about what to eat have profound effects on the structure and function of ecosystems. These choices can influence the distribution and abundance of plant species, the population dynamics of prey species, and the overall biodiversity of the environment. The interactions between consumers and their food sources are constantly evolving, driven by factors such as competition, predation pressure, and environmental changes. The ongoing interplay between consumers and the organisms they consume is a dynamic process that shapes the very fabric of life on Earth. The study of consumer behavior provides insights into the intricate workings of ecosystems. Scientists investigate the dietary preferences of different consumer species, the foraging strategies they employ, and the impact they have on their environment. This research helps us understand how ecosystems function, how they respond to change, and how we can better manage and protect them. Understanding the role of consumers is essential for conservation efforts and for maintaining the health and resilience of our planet's ecosystems. In the grand narrative of life, the consumer's act of sustenance, taking life from another, is essential. The very act of taking life to sustain one's own, a fundamental truth of existence, echoes the inherent need for balance and the cyclical nature of energy, a gentle reminder of the interconnectedness of all things and the constant flow that sustains us all, a rhythm of life that quietly soothes and calms. Decomposer, recycle nutrients back into the ecosystem. Imagine for a moment the forest floor, or perhaps the rich, dark soil of a garden. It seems still, quiet, perhaps even lifeless at a glance, but beneath the surface, a bustling world of activity thrives. This is the realm of the decomposers, the unsung heroes of the ecosystem, working tirelessly to break down dead organic matter and return essential nutrients to the environment. These organisms, including bacteria, fungi, and certain types of invertebrates like earthworms and some insects, are the recyclers of life. Their work is fundamental to the very existence of ecosystems as we know them. Decomposition is, at its core, a process of chemical breakdown. When a plant dies or an animal perishes, its complex organic molecules, the proteins, carbohydrates, and lipids that make up its structure, are no longer maintained by the life processes that once sustained them. Decomposers secrete enzymes that break down these complex molecules into simpler substances. Think of it like a meticulous disassembly line, taking apart the intricate components and returning them to their basic building blocks. This process releases the nutrients stored within the dead organism, making them available for other living things to use. Bacteria, often microscopic, are among the most abundant decomposers. They are found everywhere, in the soil, water, and even in the air. Different species of bacteria specialize in breaking down different types of organic matter. Some are experts at consuming cellulose, the main structural component of plant cell walls, while others excel at breaking down proteins or fats. Their rapid reproduction rates and diverse metabolic capabilities make them incredibly effective at their job. They thrive in various environments, from the sun-drenched surface layers of the soil to the oxygen-poor depths of the oceans. Fungi, often visible as mushrooms or molds, are another essential group of decomposers. Fungi secrete enzymes that break down organic matter outside of their bodies, then absorb the resulting nutrients. Unlike bacteria, many fungi are able to decompose lignin, a complex polymer that makes wood strong and resistant to decay. This makes fungi particularly important in the decomposition of wood and other woody materials. Fungi also play a crucial role in the soil food web. forming symbiotic relationships with plant roots called mycorrhizae, which help plants absorb nutrients. Invertebrates such as earthworms, insects, and other small creatures play a vital role in the decomposition process as well. They physically break down organic matter, increasing its surface area and making it easier for bacteria and fungi to access. Earthworms, for instance, ingest dead leaves and other organic matter, breaking it down as it passes through their digestive systems. Their castings, or waste, are rich in nutrients and improve soil structure. Insects, like certain types of beetles and flies, are also important decomposers, feeding on dead animals and plant material. The process of decomposition is not just about breaking things down, it is also about releasing nutrients. When organic matter is broken down, essential nutrients like nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium, and carbon are released back into the environment. These nutrients are then absorbed by plants, which use them to grow. Animals, in turn, consume the plants, obtaining the nutrients they need to survive. This cyclical process, driven by the work of decomposers, is fundamental to the flow of energy and nutrients through an ecosystem. Without decomposers, nutrients would remain locked up in dead organic matter, and life as we know it would cease to exist. The entire system would grind to a halt. Decomposition also plays a critical role in soil formation. As decomposers break down organic matter, they release humus, a dark, rich substance that improves soil structure, water retention, and nutrient availability. Humus is essential for plant growth and contributes to the overall health of the ecosystem. Healthy soil, teeming with decomposers and rich in humus, is a sign of a thriving ecosystem. The rate of decomposition can vary depending on a number of factors, including temperature, moisture, and the type of organic matter. Warm, moist environments generally support faster rates of decomposition than cold, dry environments. Organic matter that is easily broken down, such as leaves and soft plant tissues, decomposes more quickly than resistant materials like wood. Different types of decomposers also have different rates of activity. The work of decomposers is often unseen, yet it is essential to the health and functioning of every ecosystem on Earth. They are the silent workers, the tireless recyclers, the unseen architects of life's renewal. They convert death into life, transforming decay into the building blocks of new growth. The constant cycle of life and death, of creation and decomposition, reminds us of the interconnectedness of all things. Food webs illustrate complex feeding relationships. Within the intricate tapestry of an ecosystem, the simple concept of a food chain expands into a far more complex and interconnected network, a web of life. This is the food web, a visual representation, a map, if you will, of who eats whom within a given environment. Unlike the linear simplicity of a food chain, which might show a single path, like grass eaten by a rabbit, rabbit eaten by a fox, a food web reveals the myriad of connections, the overlapping pathways, the branching possibilities of energy transfer. Think of it as a detailed diagram, a constantly evolving illustration of the ecological relationships within a specific area. Arrows are the key. Each arrow points from the organism being eaten to the organism doing the eating. You might see a plant being consumed by several different herbivores, a single herbivore being preyed upon by multiple carnivores, and even omnivores, creatures that consume both plants and animals, bridging the gaps in the web. The complexity arises from the fact that most organisms don't just eat one thing. A fox, for instance, might consume rabbits, squirrels, birds, and even berries, depending on what's available. The web broadens and deepens, illustrating the resilience and adaptability within an ecosystem. Consider a forest ecosystem. You might observe a food web that includes trees, insects feeding on the leaves, birds eating the insects, and hawks preying on the birds. But the web doesn't stop there. Fungi and bacteria decompose fallen leaves and dead organisms, returning nutrients to the soil, which in turn nourishes the trees, completing the cycle. The food web is not a static structure. It's a dynamic interplay, a constant dance of energy and matter, responding to changes in the environment, seasonal shifts, and the ebb and flow of populations. The health of the ecosystem is mirrored in the complexity and stability of its food web. A diverse and intricate web is generally more resilient to disturbances, as the loss of one species doesn't necessarily collapse the entire system. Other organisms can often fill the niche, maintaining the flow of energy. Food webs are also essential tools for understanding how pollutants and toxins move through an ecosystem. If a pollutant enters the food web, it can accumulate in the tissues of organisms, a process called bioaccumulation. This can be especially dangerous at higher trophic levels, where predators consume multiple contaminated prey, leading to biomagnification, where the concentration of the pollutant increases with each step up the food web. Studying food webs helps us understand these processes and mitigate their negative effects. The concept of interconnectedness is paramount. Every organism has a role to play, and every connection matters. This understanding emphasizes the importance of protecting biodiversity and the intricate balance of nature. By mapping these connections, we gain a deeper appreciation for the delicate balance that sustains life and the profound responsibility we have to protect it. Food webs are therefore a powerful reminder that everything is connected, that the health of an ecosystem depends on the intricate relationships between its inhabitants, from the smallest microbe to the largest predator, that our actions, however small, can have far-reaching consequences. Within the intricate web of life, we find reflected the interconnectedness of all things, reminding us of our place within a larger, more profound pattern. Energy transfer between trophic levels is inefficient. Consider for a moment the intricate dance of energy within an ecosystem, the way it flows from one life form to another, a journey of consumption and transformation. This flow, this energetic ballet, is not a seamless, perfectly efficient process. In fact, it's quite the opposite. The movement of energy through the different levels of a food chain, or what we call trophic levels, is remarkably inefficient. As you move up the trophic levels, from producers to primary consumers, then to secondary consumers, and so on, a significant portion of the energy is lost at each step. This loss is a fundamental principle of how ecosystems function and impacts the size and distribution of life. Let's delve a little deeper into this fascinating inefficiency. When a herbivore, a primary consumer like a deer, eats a plant, it doesn't absorb all the energy stored in that plant. Much of the energy is used by the deer for its own metabolic processes, breathing, moving, digesting, and maintaining body temperature. Think of it like a complex machine, needing fuel to operate and inevitably losing some energy as heat. A substantial portion of the energy consumed by the deer is also lost as waste, in the form of undigested material, urine, and feces. Only a fraction of the energy consumed is actually converted into the deer's own biomass, the tissues that make up its body. This is the energy available for the next trophic level, the carnivores, such as a wolf, that might consume the deer. Now, when a wolf eats the deer, the same pattern repeats. The wolf uses energy for its bodily functions, and some energy is lost as waste or heat. The wolf, too, doesn't capture all the energy stored in the deer. This constant loss of energy is why food chains are rarely very long, and why there are typically fewer organisms at higher trophic levels. the amount of energy available to support each subsequent level decreases significantly. Scientists often express this energy transfer inefficiency using the 10% rule. This rule suggests that only about 10% of the energy from one trophic level is transferred to the next. The remaining 90% is lost through various processes, primarily as heat, waste, and the energy used for the organism's own survival. This means that a large number of plants are needed to support a smaller number of herbivores, which in turn support an even smaller number of carnivores. This fundamental principle shapes the structure and dynamics of every ecosystem on Earth. Think of it like a pyramid, the base being the producers, supporting a larger biomass, and the apex being the top predators, supported by a much smaller base. The energy available at each level is less than the level below, explaining why there are fewer top predators than producers in any given ecosystem. The inefficiency of energy transfer also influences the size and distribution of populations. It influences how many individuals of each species can be sustained within a given environment. It's a key factor in understanding the intricate balance of life. The consequences of this energy inefficiency are far-reaching. It influences the types of organisms that can thrive in a particular environment. It also affects the stability of the ecosystem. Ecosystems with a more efficient energy transfer may be more resilient to disturbances. Understanding the inefficiencies of energy transfer is critical for conservation efforts. It helps us to appreciate the delicate balance of nature and the importance of protecting all the different components of an ecosystem. This knowledge also helps us to understand how human activities, such as habitat destruction and pollution, can disrupt these delicate energy flows and have cascading effects throughout the ecosystem. It underscores the interconnectedness of all life, reminding us that every organism plays a role in the intricate web of energy transfer. The loss of energy at each trophic level also highlights the importance of decomposers. Decomposers, such as bacteria and fungi, break down dead organisms and waste, releasing nutrients back into the ecosystem. This process is crucial because it recycles the energy that would otherwise be lost. Decomposers ensure that energy and nutrients are continually cycled through the ecosystem, supporting the growth of producers and, in turn, all other life forms. This continuous cycling is essential for the long-term sustainability of ecosystems. It is a reminder of the cyclical nature of life. This inefficiency is not necessarily a flaw, but a fundamental characteristic of life. It's part of the design, the very structure that allows for the incredible diversity and complexity we see in the natural world. It shapes the interactions between organisms, influences population sizes, and determines the overall structure and function of an ecosystem. It's a testament to the intricate balance of nature, where every loss contributes to the larger whole. The slow, persistent flow of energy, even in its inefficiency, mirrors the gentle passage of time, reminding us that even in loss, there is renewal, that every ending is also a beginning, and that we, too, are part of this grand, interconnected system of life, constantly transforming and being transformed. Energy transfer between trophic levels is inefficient. The flow of energy within an ecosystem isn't a perfectly efficient process, you see. As energy moves from one trophic level to the next, from producers to primary consumers, then to secondary consumers, and so on, a significant portion of it is lost. This inefficiency is a fundamental principle in ecology, and it has profound implications for how ecosystems function and how we, as observers, can understand their limitations. Think of it like this. When a caterpillar munches on a leaf, not all the energy stored in that leaf is converted into the caterpillar's body mass. Some energy is used for the caterpillar's own life processes, for movement, for breathing, for maintaining its body temperature. This energy is expended as heat, a form of energy that is no longer available to the next trophic level. Other energy is lost through waste products, like the caterpillar's frass, which are broken down by decomposers but don't contribute directly to the energy available to, say, a bird that might eat the caterpillar. A general rule of thumb, known as the 10% rule, suggests that only about 10% of the energy from one trophic level is actually transferred to the next. The remaining 90% is lost through various processes, primarily respiration, waste, and heat. This inherent inefficiency has dramatic consequences. It means that there is a limit to how many trophic levels an ecosystem can support. As you move up the food chain, there is less and less energy available to sustain organisms. This is why you tend to see fewer top predators than primary producers. The energy simply isn't sufficient to support large populations at the higher trophic levels. The inefficiency of energy transfer also influences the biomass of organisms at each trophic level. Biomass refers to the total mass of living organisms in a given area. Because energy is lost at each step, the biomass of producers is significantly higher than that of primary consumers, and the biomass of primary consumers is higher than that of secondary consumers. This creates a pyramid-like structure, with a broad base of producers and a narrowing apex of top predators. This energy flow inefficiency is a natural constraint, shaping the structure and function of all ecosystems. It governs the abundance of life, the complexity of food webs, and the overall productivity of the natural world. It also highlights the importance of understanding the interconnectedness of all living things and how energy resources are allocated within the biosphere. The concept also underscores the importance of conservation and understanding how human activities can impact energy flow. For example, overfishing can disrupt the delicate balance of energy transfer in marine ecosystems, leading to declines in populations of various species. Deforestation can reduce the number of producers, thereby limiting the amount of energy available to the entire ecosystem. The gentle release of energy, like the slow turning of a season, reminds us that even within the grandest systems, not all is retained, and that is a beauty of its own. Ecosystems are constantly changing due to natural disturbances. Ecosystems, those intricate tapestries of life, are not static entities. They are dynamic systems, perpetually in flux, subject to a wide array of natural disturbances. These disturbances, ranging from the gentle caress of a seasonal flood to the violent upheaval of a wildfire, are integral parts of the ecosystem's life cycle. They shape the landscape, influence the distribution of species, and ultimately determine the very structure and function of the ecosystem itself. Consider, for instance, a forest. It might appear stable, a verdant expanse of towering trees and bustling undergrowth. However, this apparent tranquility is often punctuated by events that fundamentally alter its character. A strong wind, for example, can topple ancient trees, creating gaps in the canopy, allowing sunlight to penetrate the forest floor. This influx of light can trigger a burst of new growth, favoring different plant species and fundamentally changing the habitat available for various animals. These disturbances are not always destructive. They can also be regenerative, providing opportunities for renewal and diversification. Wildfires, often perceived as destructive forces, play a crucial role in many ecosystems. In some forests, like those dominated by certain pine species, fire is a natural and necessary part of the ecosystem cycle. Fire clears away accumulated deadwood and underbrush, reducing the risk of larger, more catastrophic fires. It also releases nutrients back into the soil, fertilizing the ground and promoting new growth. Many plant species have even evolved adaptations to survive or even thrive in fire-prone environments. Their seeds might require the heat of a fire to germinate, or their bark might be thick enough to protect them from the flames. The aftermath of a fire, though initially appearing barren, often gives rise to a vibrant mosaic of new life, as pioneer species colonize the scorched earth, laying the groundwork for the ecosystem's recovery. Floods, too, are significant agents of change. Rivers, in their natural state, periodically overflow their banks, inundating the surrounding floodplains. This flooding can deposit nutrient-rich sediments, enriching the soil and promoting the growth of lush vegetation. It can also create new habitats, such as wetlands and oxbow lakes, which support a diverse array of plant and animal life. While floods can displace organisms and sometimes cause mortality, they also provide essential resources and contribute to the overall health of the ecosystem. Other natural disturbances include insect outbreaks, which can decimate populations of specific tree species, opening up the canopy and altering the forest structure. Volcanic eruptions can release ash and lava, covering the landscape and creating new landforms. Even the slow, steady processes of erosion and climate change exert a constant influence, gradually reshaping the environment and influencing the distribution of species. The frequency and intensity of these natural disturbances vary greatly depending on the ecosystem and its location. Some ecosystems, like those in fire-prone regions, experience disturbances relatively frequently, while others are more stable. The resilience of an ecosystem, its ability to recover from disturbances, is often linked to its biodiversity. A more diverse ecosystem is generally better equipped to withstand and recover from disruptions, as different species can fill ecological niches and support one another. Understanding these natural disturbances is crucial for effective ecosystem management. By recognizing their role in shaping ecosystems, we can make informed decisions about how to protect and conserve these vital natural resources. This includes strategies to reduce the impact of human activities on natural disturbances and to promote the resilience of ecosystems in the face of climate change and other emerging threats. The study of disturbance regimes is a cornerstone of ecological research, providing insight into the intricate dance of life and the ongoing evolution of our planet's ecosystems. The interplay of these forces highlights the interconnectedness of all living things and the constant state of change that defines the natural world. The awareness of this dynamic nature allows us to appreciate the beauty and complexity of life in its constant adaptation. The ever-shifting dance of life, like the breath itself, reminds us that change is the only constant, and in the embrace of that change lies the resilience of the world and perhaps our own hearts. Ecological succession describes ecosystem recovery over time. Ecological succession is a fascinating process, a fundamental principle of how ecosystems recover and change over time after being disturbed. Imagine a forest ravaged by fire or a volcanic eruption that creates new land. These events, and many others, reset the biological clock, so to speak, and initiate a journey of recovery. This journey is not random. It follows a predictable pattern, a sequence of changes that scientists call ecological succession. There are two main types: primary and secondary succession. Primary succession occurs in areas where there was previously no life, like a newly formed volcanic island or a bare rock surface exposed by a retreating glacier. The process begins with pioneer species, organisms hardy enough to colonize these harsh environments. These are often lichens and mosses, which can break down rock and create the first rudimentary soil. As these pioneer species die and decompose, they contribute organic matter to the developing soil. This, in turn, allows for the establishment of more complex plants, like grasses and small flowering plants. Over time, the soil deepens and becomes richer, supporting larger plants such as shrubs and eventually trees. This gradual transformation leads to a more complex and diverse ecosystem, a process that can take hundreds or even thousands of years. Secondary succession, on the other hand, occurs in areas where an existing ecosystem has been disturbed but where soil is already present. Think of a forest fire, a clear-cut logging operation, or an abandoned agricultural field. In these cases, the soil remains, and the process of recovery is much faster. The existing soil already contains seeds, spores, and nutrients, speeding up the recolonization process. The initial stages often involve the rapid growth of grasses and other herbaceous plants, followed by the establishment of shrubs and fast-growing trees. Gradually, the ecosystem returns to its former state, or perhaps evolves into a new, stable community. This final, relatively stable stage is known as the climax community. Succession is not a linear process. It's a dynamic interplay between organisms and their environment. The type of climax community that develops depends on factors like climate, soil conditions, and the availability of resources. Throughout the stages of succession, species interactions such as competition, predation, and mutualism play a crucial role in shaping the ecosystem. Some species are better adapted to early successional stages, while others thrive in later stages. As the ecosystem matures, the dominant species change, and the community becomes more diverse and complex. Succession is a testament to the resilience of life and the ability of ecosystems to adapt and recover from disturbances. It demonstrates the interconnectedness of all living things and their dependence on the environment. The study of ecological succession helps us understand how ecosystems function, how they respond to change, and how we can manage them sustainably. It's a fundamental principle for conservation efforts, allowing us to predict and mitigate the impacts of human activities on the natural world. It underscores the importance of protecting biodiversity, as a diverse ecosystem is better equipped to withstand disturbances and recover. The process of succession highlights the interconnectedness of all living things and their dependence on the environment, illustrating how ecosystems are constantly evolving and adapting. This continuous cycle of change and renewal is essential for the health and stability of the planet. As the forest slowly recovers after a fire, we are reminded of the inherent ability of life to persist, to heal, and to begin anew. Biodiversity enhances ecosystem stability. Ecosystems, as we've discussed, are intricate webs of life, constantly interacting and evolving. But what happens when the number of different species within an ecosystem changes? The answer, in short, is that biodiversity, the variety of life in a specific area, plays a crucial role in maintaining the stability of an ecosystem. Think of it like a complex building. The more varied the materials and the more skilled the builders, the more resilient the structure is likely to be against storms, earthquakes, or other forms of damage. In an ecosystem, that building is the complex network of relationships between organisms and their environment. Consider a forest with a wide variety of tree species, each with slightly different tolerances to drought, disease, and insect infestations, is better equipped to withstand these challenges than a forest dominated by a single tree species. If a disease wipes out one type of tree, the other species can continue to thrive, providing habitat and resources for the other organisms in the ecosystem. This resilience is a key aspect of ecosystem stability. High biodiversity often leads to more efficient resource use. Different species have different niches, meaning they utilize resources in slightly different ways. Some plants might have deeper roots to access water, while others might be more efficient at capturing sunlight. This diversification allows the ecosystem to make the most of available resources, promoting overall productivity and reducing the risk of resource shortages. Furthermore, biodiversity acts as a buffer against environmental fluctuations. A diverse ecosystem can better absorb and adapt to changes in climate, such as temperature variations or altered rainfall patterns. Diverse plant communities, for example, can respond differently to these changes, ensuring that at least some plants continue to thrive, thus maintaining the base of the food web. The presence of multiple species with overlapping roles also creates redundancy. If one species declines, another similar species can often step in to fill its functional role, preventing a collapse of the ecosystem. This redundancy is like having backup systems in place, a crucial element for stability. The loss of biodiversity, on the other hand, can have significant consequences. Ecosystems with low biodiversity are often more vulnerable to disturbances. A disease outbreak, a change in climate, or the introduction of an invasive species can have devastating effects, potentially leading to ecosystem collapse. This is why conservation efforts are so critical. Protecting biodiversity is not just about preserving individual species. It's about safeguarding the intricate networks that support life on Earth, ensuring that our planet's ecosystems remain healthy and resilient for generations to come. The interconnectedness of life, the delicate balance of resources, and the subtle dance of survival are all interwoven in the tapestry of biodiversity. It is a testament to the fact that the more diverse an ecosystem is, the more stable, resilient, and capable it is of withstanding the inevitable challenges of a changing world. The intricate beauty of ecosystems is often revealed in their capacity to adapt. The intricate connections and the diverse interactions of life are what allow an ecosystem to flourish and persist. The universe whispers, "In the multitude of life, we find the strength to endure," a reflection of the resilience within ourselves. Asterisk 13. Keystone species exert a disproportionate influence on ecosystems. In the intricate tapestry of life, certain organisms wield an outsized influence, acting as crucial players in maintaining the delicate balance of their ecosystems. These are the keystone species. Their presence or absence can trigger cascading effects that reshape the entire environment, far beyond what their numbers might suggest. Imagine a single stone, a keystone, holding an arch in place. Remove that stone, and the entire structure collapses. Keystone species function in a similar way, preventing ecosystems from unraveling. They are not necessarily the most abundant species, nor are they always the largest. Their importance lies in the critical roles they play, the connections they forge within the web of life. Consider the sea otter, a seemingly unassuming creature of the kelp forests. These playful mammals feast on sea urchins, which in turn graze on kelp, the foundation of the underwater forest. Without sea otters, sea urchin populations explode, devouring the kelp at an unsustainable rate. The kelp forests disappear, leading to a loss of habitat and food for countless other species. The entire ecosystem is drastically altered. The sea otter in this scenario is the keystone, its presence crucial for the health and stability of the kelp forest. Or think of the African elephant in the savanna. These massive herbivores shape their environment in profound ways. They consume vegetation, preventing the overgrowth of certain plants and creating open areas that benefit other species. Their foraging habits also create pathways through the landscape, allowing for seed dispersal and influencing the distribution of plant life. Furthermore, elephants dig for water, creating watering holes that become vital resources for a wide range of animals during the dry season. The impact of the elephant goes far beyond its size, fundamentally shaping the structure and function of the savanna ecosystem. Predators often act as keystone species, controlling populations of their prey and preventing them from overgrazing or overpopulating. The gray wolf in Yellowstone National Park provides a powerful example. After being absent for decades, the reintroduction of wolves in the 1990s had a remarkable impact. The wolves reduced the elk population, which had been overgrazing the vegetation along riverbanks. With less grazing pressure, the vegetation recovered, leading to the return of beavers, who built dams and created new wetland habitats. The presence of the wolves triggered a cascade of positive effects, transforming the entire ecosystem. The wolves, acting as a keystone, restored balance and resilience to the park. Keystone species can also be plants. Certain trees, for instance, might provide essential food or shelter for numerous animals, thereby supporting a complex network of life. Other examples include pollinators, such as bees, which are essential for the reproduction of many plant species, or certain types of fungi that form symbiotic relationships with plant roots, aiding in nutrient uptake. The specific role of a keystone species can vary depending on the ecosystem, highlighting the unique dynamics of each environment. Understanding the importance of keystone species is critical for conservation efforts. Protecting these species and their habitats is essential for maintaining the biodiversity and resilience of ecosystems worldwide. Careful management and consideration of these critical species is a vital step in helping preserve the natural world. The concept of keystone species reminds us that even seemingly small or inconspicuous organisms can have a profound impact on the larger world, underscoring the interconnectedness of all life. The loss of a keystone species can have devastating consequences, leading to ecosystem collapse, biodiversity loss, and the disruption of essential ecological processes. Conversely, the restoration or protection of keystone species can lead to remarkable recovery and revitalization of ecosystems. The concept of a keystone species provides a powerful framework for understanding the complex relationships within ecosystems and highlights the importance of conservation efforts. It underscores the idea that every organism, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, plays a role in the intricate web of life. The world is a symphony of interconnectedness, where the absence of a single note can change the entire melody. Nutrient cycles govern the movement of essential elements. The intricate dance of life within an ecosystem relies heavily on the continuous cycling of essential nutrients. These are the fundamental building blocks of all living organisms, the elements that allow life to flourish and persist. Without this constant flow, ecosystems would grind to a halt, unable to sustain themselves. Imagine a bustling city where resources like food, water, and waste disposal are in constant motion. Nutrient cycles are similar, but on a grand, natural scale. They describe how elements like carbon, nitrogen, phosphorus, and others move between the living and non-living components of an ecosystem. This movement is not random. It follows specific pathways, driven by biological, geological, and chemical processes. These cycles ensure that these vital elements are available for all organisms, from the smallest microbe to the largest tree. Let's begin with a closer look at the concept of nutrients themselves. Nutrients are the chemical elements and compounds that organisms need to grow, develop, and reproduce. They are the raw materials for life, the substances that make up the structures of cells, tissues, and organs. These nutrients are not created or destroyed. They are simply recycled. This recycling process is the essence of nutrient cycling. The cycles involve a series of reservoirs where nutrients are stored and fluxes, which represent the movement of nutrients between these reservoirs. The reservoirs can be biotic living organisms or abiotic non-living components like the atmosphere, soil, and water. The fluxes are driven by various processes, such as photosynthesis, decomposition, weathering, and consumption. Consider the carbon cycle, perhaps the most well-known. Carbon is the backbone of all organic molecules, the compounds that make up living things. Plants take in carbon dioxide from the atmosphere during photosynthesis, converting it into sugars and other organic compounds. These compounds are then used for growth and energy. When plants are consumed by animals, the carbon moves up the food chain. When organisms die, decomposers break down their remains, releasing carbon back into the soil and atmosphere in the form of carbon dioxide. This constant movement of carbon ensures that it is available to all organisms. The carbon cycle also involves long-term storage in reservoirs like fossil fuels and the oceans. Human activities, such as burning fossil fuels, have significantly altered the carbon cycle, leading to increased levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere and contributing to climate change. The nitrogen cycle is another crucial example. Nitrogen is a key component of proteins and nucleic acids, essential for all living organisms. While the atmosphere is mostly nitrogen gas, plants cannot directly utilize this form. Instead, the nitrogen cycle relies on a process called nitrogen fixation. Certain bacteria convert atmospheric nitrogen into usable forms like ammonia. Plants then absorb the ammonia from the soil. Animals obtain nitrogen by consuming plants or other animals. When organisms die, decomposers break down their remains, releasing nitrogen back into the soil as ammonia. Other bacteria then convert ammonia into nitrates, which plants can also absorb. Finally, denitrification converts nitrates back into nitrogen gas, returning it to the atmosphere. Human activities, such as the use of fertilizers, have significantly impacted the nitrogen cycle, leading to excess nitrogen in ecosystems and causing problems like eutrophication in aquatic environments. The phosphorus cycle is simpler but equally important. Phosphorus is a key component of DNA, RNA, and ATP, the energy currency of cells. Unlike carbon and nitrogen, phosphorus does not have a significant atmospheric component. Instead, the phosphorus cycle primarily involves the movement of phosphorus through rocks, soil, and water. Phosphorus is released from rocks through weathering. Plants absorb phosphorus from the soil. Animals obtain phosphorus by consuming plants or other animals. When organisms die, decomposers break down their remains, releasing phosphorus back into the soil. Phosphorus can also be transported to aquatic ecosystems through runoff, where it can accumulate in sediments. Human activities, such as mining and the use of fertilizers, have also altered the phosphorus cycle. These nutrient cycles are interconnected and interdependent. The availability of one nutrient can influence the cycling of others. For example, the availability of nitrogen can affect the rate of photosynthesis, which in turn affects the carbon cycle. The health and stability of an ecosystem depend on the proper functioning of these cycles. Disruptions to these cycles, caused by human activities or natural events, can have significant consequences for the ecosystem, including reduced productivity, changes in species composition, and decreased biodiversity. Understanding nutrient cycles is crucial for managing and protecting ecosystems. By understanding the processes that govern the movement of essential elements, we can better understand how to mitigate the impacts of human activities and promote the long-term health and sustainability of our planet. The delicate balance maintained by these cycles is a testament to the interconnectedness of all life. The cycles themselves are not static. They are dynamic processes that respond to changes in the environment. Climate change, for example, can alter the rates of decomposition, weathering, and other processes, affecting the cycling of nutrients. Changes in land use, such as deforestation and urbanization, can also impact nutrient cycles. The study of nutrient cycles is an active area of scientific research, with scientists constantly working to understand the complex interactions between organisms and their environment. This knowledge is essential for developing effective strategies for conservation and sustainable management. As we continue to learn more about these fascinating processes, we gain a deeper appreciation for the intricate web of life that sustains us all. Within the quiet rhythm of the earth, essential elements flow, a silent promise of renewal, echoing the continuous dance of our own existence, reminding us that even in stillness, transformation persists. The water cycle is crucial for ecosystem functioning. The water cycle, also known as the hydrological cycle, is a continuous process that describes the movement of water on, above, and below the surface of the earth. It's an intricate dance, a constant exchange between the atmosphere, land, and oceans, powered primarily by the sun's energy. This cycle is absolutely fundamental to the existence and function of all ecosystems, from the smallest puddle to the largest rainforest. Let's begin with the sun, our ever-present source of energy. The sun's radiant heat provides the energy for evaporation. Evaporation is the process where liquid water transforms into water vapor, rising into the atmosphere. This happens from oceans, lakes, rivers, and even from the surfaces of plants and soil. Plants, through a process called transpiration, release water vapor through tiny pores in their leaves. This is like a gentle breathing, a release of moisture back into the air. Next, we have condensation. As the water vapor rises, it cools and condenses, forming clouds. These clouds are made up of tiny water droplets or ice crystals, suspended in the air. The condensation process is crucial because it transforms the invisible water vapor back into a visible form, ready to return to the earth. Then comes precipitation. When the water droplets or ice crystals in the clouds become too heavy, they fall back to the earth as rain, snow, sleet, or hail. This precipitation replenishes the water on land and in the oceans, providing the essential resource for all life. The amount and type of precipitation vary depending on location and climate, influencing the types of ecosystems that can thrive in a given area. Once the water reaches the Earth's surface, it can take several paths. Some of the water will be absorbed into the soil, becoming groundwater, which can be stored in underground aquifers. This groundwater slowly moves through the soil and rocks, eventually reaching streams, rivers, lakes, or even the ocean. Plants use this groundwater through their roots, drawing the water up into their stems and leaves to support their growth. Another portion of the water flows over the land, a process known as runoff. Runoff collects in streams, rivers, and eventually flows into larger bodies of water, like lakes and oceans, carrying with it dissolved nutrients and sediments. This runoff is a vital part of the water cycle, shaping landscapes and providing habitats for aquatic organisms. The water cycle also involves the oceans, which cover about 70% of the Earth's surface. The oceans are the primary source of water for the cycle, with vast amounts of water evaporating from their surfaces. This water vapor then condenses into clouds, which can travel long distances before releasing precipitation, ensuring the distribution of water across the globe. In essence, the water cycle is a closed system, a continuous loop. Water moves from the oceans and land to the atmosphere through evaporation and transpiration, then returns to the earth through precipitation, and finally flows back to the oceans, completing the cycle. This constant movement of water is essential for the survival of all living organisms and the functioning of ecosystems. Without the water cycle, there would be no rainfall to nourish plants, no rivers to support aquatic life, and no oceans to regulate the climate. It's a delicate balance, a symphony of processes that sustains life as we know it. The water cycle also plays a vital role in regulating the Earth's temperature, distributing nutrients, and shaping landscapes. It affects everything from the smallest microbes to the largest forests. The water cycle's influence extends to the very structure of ecosystems. For example, the availability of water dictates the types of plants that can grow in a given area, which, in turn, influences the types of animals that can survive there. The amount of rainfall and its distribution throughout the year determines whether a region will be a lush rainforest, a vast grassland, or a barren desert. Furthermore, the water cycle is intimately connected to other biogeochemical cycles, such as the carbon and nitrogen cycles. Water transports nutrients throughout ecosystems, supporting the growth of plants and the cycling of essential elements. The water cycle is also highly vulnerable to human activities, such as deforestation, pollution, and climate change. These activities can disrupt the natural processes of the water cycle, leading to water scarcity, flooding, and other environmental problems. The interconnectedness of the water cycle highlights the fragility of our planet and the importance of protecting this precious resource. It is a reminder that every drop of water is part of a larger, interconnected system that sustains life on Earth. Water is a life-giving force, a constant reminder of the cyclical nature of existence. Its journey from the sky to the earth and back again mirrors the ebb and flow of our own lives. The nitrogen cycle is essential for plant growth. Nitrogen, a vital element for all life, is a fundamental building block of proteins and nucleic acids, the very essence of DNA and RNA. While the atmosphere is brimming with nitrogen gas, about 78% of it, most plants and animals can't directly use this form. Instead, they rely on a complex process known as the nitrogen cycle, a series of transformations that convert atmospheric nitrogen into forms usable by living organisms. This intricate cycle involves several key processes. First, nitrogen fixation, a critical step, converts atmospheric nitrogen gas, N2, into ammonia, NH3, or ammonium, NH4+. This conversion is primarily carried out by nitrogen-fixing bacteria, microscopic organisms that reside in the soil or in symbiotic relationships with plants, particularly legumes. These bacteria possess the remarkable ability to break the strong triple bond of nitrogen gas, making it available in a form that plants can absorb through their roots. Some cyanobacteria in aquatic environments also perform nitrogen fixation. Next, nitrification occurs, a process where ammonia is converted into nitrites, NO2, and then into nitrates, NO3. This transformation is facilitated by nitrifying bacteria, which thrive in oxygen-rich environments. Nitrates are particularly important because they are the form of nitrogen that plants most readily absorb and utilize for growth. This process is essentially the feeding of the plants, providing them with the essential building blocks for their own growth and development. Plants absorb these nitrates from the soil, using them to synthesize amino acids, proteins, and other crucial organic compounds. These compounds are then incorporated into the plant's tissues, fueling their growth and development. Animals obtain nitrogen by consuming plants or other animals, thus transferring nitrogen through the food chain. When plants and animals die, or when they excrete waste products, the nitrogen compounds are returned to the soil. Decomposition, the breakdown of organic matter by decomposers such as bacteria and fungi, plays a crucial role here. These decomposers convert organic nitrogen into ammonia through a process called aminification. This ammonia can then be taken up by plants, undergo nitrification, or be converted back to nitrogen gas. Finally, denitrification, the opposite of nitrogen fixation, occurs. Denitrifying bacteria, often found in oxygen-poor environments like waterlogged soils, convert nitrates back into nitrogen gas, releasing it back into the atmosphere. This completes the cycle, returning nitrogen to its atmospheric reservoir. The nitrogen cycle is therefore a dynamic and interconnected process, constantly cycling nitrogen between the atmosphere, soil, water, and living organisms. It's a delicate balance. Disruptions to this cycle, often caused by human activities like excessive fertilizer use, can lead to environmental problems such as water pollution. Understanding the nitrogen cycle is essential for sustainable agriculture and ecosystem management, allowing us to appreciate the intricate web of life and the delicate balance that sustains it. This cycle is a testament to nature's remarkable ability to recycle and reuse essential elements, ensuring the continuation of life on Earth. The cycle emphasizes the interconnectedness of all living things, the importance of balance, and the profound impact that even microscopic organisms have on our world. It is a reminder that everything is connected. The nitrogen cycle, a silent ballet of transformation, whispers of renewal, growth, and the beautiful, continuous dance of life. The nitrogen cycle is essential for plant growth. Nitrogen, a crucial element for all life as we know it, is a fundamental building block of proteins and nucleic acids, the very essence of life's complex machinery. While the atmosphere is abundant with nitrogen gas, in fact, it makes up about 78% of the air we breathe. Plants and animals cannot directly utilize this gaseous form. Instead, they depend on a fascinating process known as the nitrogen cycle, a continuous transformation of nitrogen through various chemical forms. It's a beautifully orchestrated dance of elements, bacteria, plants, and animals, all working in concert to ensure the availability of this vital nutrient. The cycle begins with nitrogen fixation, a process primarily carried out by specialized bacteria. These microscopic marvels, often residing in the soil or in symbiotic relationships with plant roots, convert atmospheric nitrogen gas into ammonia, a form that plants can absorb. Some of these nitrogen-fixing bacteria live freely in the soil, while others form intimate partnerships with plants, particularly legumes like beans, peas, and clover. Within the roots of these plants, they create nodules, tiny homes where they convert nitrogen gas into ammonia, benefiting both the plant and themselves. Next, the ammonia is often converted into ammonium, a form that plants can readily use for growth. This process is called aminification. When plants and animals die or excrete waste, decomposers, bacteria and fungi, break down organic matter, releasing ammonia back into the soil. This is a critical step, ensuring that nitrogen is continuously recycled and available for the next generation of life. The ammonium can then undergo nitrification, a two-step process performed by another group of specialized bacteria. First, ammonium is converted into nitrite, and then into nitrate. Nitrate is the form of nitrogen that plants most readily absorb and use for growth. It's like a readily available meal, fueling their development and allowing them to flourish. However, the nitrogen cycle also includes a process called denitrification. In oxygen-poor environments such as waterlogged soils, other bacteria convert nitrate back into nitrogen gas, which is then released back into the atmosphere. This completes the cycle, returning nitrogen to its gaseous state, ready to begin the journey anew. Human activities, such as the use of fertilizers in agriculture, have significantly altered the nitrogen cycle. While fertilizers boost crop yields, they can also lead to excess nitrogen in the environment, causing pollution in waterways and contributing to greenhouse gas emissions. Understanding the intricate dance of the nitrogen cycle is therefore not only a matter of scientific curiosity, but also a crucial step in managing our impact on the planet. This intricate system highlights the interconnectedness of all living things and the delicate balance that sustains life on Earth. The nitrogen cycle is also a reminder of the unseen processes that support all life, from the smallest blade of grass to the largest whale. It is a testament to the elegance and efficiency of nature's design, a continuous flow, a constant transformation, a silent symphony of life. The journey of nitrogen, from the air we breathe to the plants that sustain us, and back again, mirrors the continuous flow of energy and the cyclical nature of existence, a quiet reminder of our own interconnectedness with the grand tapestry of life. Biomes are large-scale ecosystems defined by climate and vegetation. Consider, for a moment, the vastness of our planet, the sheer variety of landscapes that stretch before us, each a unique tapestry woven from the threads of life and environment. We can begin to understand this diversity by categorizing these landscapes into what are known as biomes. A biome, in essence, is a large geographic area characterized by specific climate conditions, which in turn dictate the dominant types of plants and animals that can thrive there. Think of them as colossal ecosystems, scaled up to encompass entire regions, even continents. The primary factors that define a biome are the climate elements, temperature and precipitation. These two variables, working in concert, determine the types of vegetation that can flourish. For instance, a region with high temperatures and abundant rainfall will likely support a lush, tropical rainforest, teeming with life. Conversely, a region characterized by consistently low temperatures and minimal precipitation will probably give rise to a tundra, a landscape dominated by low-growing plants and adapted for harsh conditions. There are several major types of biomes, each with its own distinct characteristics. Forests, for example, are broadly categorized into tropical rainforests, temperate forests, and boreal forests, also known as taiga. Rainforests, as mentioned, are known for their incredible biodiversity and high rainfall. Temperate forests experience distinct seasons, with moderate temperatures and precipitation, leading to deciduous trees that shed their leaves in the fall. Boreal forests, found in colder regions, are dominated by coniferous trees, adapted to survive long, harsh winters. Then there are grasslands, which are characterized by grasses as the dominant vegetation. These biomes typically experience moderate rainfall, but not enough to support the growth of large trees. Grasslands can be further divided into savannas, which have scattered trees and are often found in tropical regions, and temperate grasslands, which experience distinct seasons and are home to a variety of grazing animals. Deserts, of course, are defined by their arid conditions. They receive very little rainfall, and the plants and animals that live there have evolved remarkable adaptations to survive in the face of water scarcity. Aquatic biomes, too, are incredibly diverse, encompassing both freshwater ecosystems like lakes, rivers, and wetlands, and marine ecosystems like oceans, coral reefs, and estuaries. Each of these aquatic biomes is shaped by factors like salinity, sunlight penetration, and water currents. Understanding biomes is crucial for appreciating the global distribution of life and for comprehending the intricate relationships between climate, vegetation, and the animals that inhabit a particular region. It allows us to recognize the interconnectedness of all living things, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale, and to appreciate the delicate balance that sustains life on our planet. Each biome, a testament to nature's artistry, paints a unique picture of survival and adaptation, a vibrant portrait of life responding to the challenges and opportunities presented by its environment. These large-scale ecosystems are not static entities. They are dynamic, ever-changing systems influenced by climate fluctuations, natural disturbances, and, increasingly, human activities. As we learn more about the complexities of biomes, we gain a deeper appreciation for the fragility of the natural world and the importance of conservation efforts. The study of biomes is a journey of discovery, a constant reminder of the beauty and complexity of our planet and of our responsibility to protect it. The very concept of a biome, a large-scale ecosystem, reminds us of the grand sweep of life and the way in which all things, even those seemingly distant, are inextricably linked. Asterisk 19. Forests play a vital role in carbon sequestration. Forests in their silent majesty are not merely collections of trees. They are, in fact, vast natural carbon sinks, diligently working to regulate our planet's atmosphere. This process, known as carbon sequestration, is a fundamental function of healthy forests, a process that helps to mitigate the effects of climate change. Trees, through the magic of photosynthesis, absorb carbon dioxide, CO2, from the air. This CO2 is then used to build their structure, their trunks, branches, leaves, and roots. As the trees grow, they store this carbon, effectively removing it from the atmosphere. This stored carbon can remain locked away for decades, even centuries, depending on the lifespan of the tree and the health of the forest. The older and more established a forest, the greater its capacity for carbon sequestration, as the forest accumulates more biomass over time. But it's not just the trees themselves that are responsible for this crucial service. The soil beneath the forest floor plays an equally significant role. Healthy forest soils are teeming with organic matter, composed of decaying leaves, fallen branches, and the intricate network of roots. This organic matter also stores significant amounts of carbon. The forest floor acts as a giant sponge, absorbing and holding carbon, further contributing to the sequestration process. The forest floor creates the perfect environment for organisms to thrive. Fungi, bacteria, and other microorganisms break down organic matter, releasing nutrients back into the soil and further enriching the carbon content. When forests are disturbed, such as through deforestation or wildfires, the stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere, often in the form of CO2. This can significantly contribute to climate change, making the protection and sustainable management of forests absolutely vital. Protecting forests involves a multifaceted approach, including reducing deforestation, promoting reforestation and afforestation, planting trees in areas where they haven't been before, and managing forests sustainably to ensure their long-term health and carbon sequestration capacity. Sustainable forestry practices involve harvesting trees responsibly, replanting, and minimizing soil disturbance to maintain the forest's ability to sequester carbon and provide other essential ecosystem services. Forests also provide other essential ecosystem services, such as providing habitats for countless species, regulating water cycles, preventing soil erosion, and providing us with clean air and water. Therefore, the preservation and restoration of forests is not just an environmental imperative. It is an investment in the health of our planet and the future of humanity. The incredible power of trees to absorb carbon dioxide and the role of forests in regulating our climate demonstrates the interconnectedness of all living things and the profound impact of nature on our shared world. Forests are complex, dynamic ecosystems that provide a multitude of benefits, and their preservation is crucial to mitigating climate change and ensuring a sustainable future. The quiet work of forests, hidden from our daily view, is a powerful reminder of the beauty and the essential role that nature plays in maintaining the delicate balance of life on Earth. The gentle rustling of leaves in the forest, the silent absorption of carbon, reflects the quiet, persistent work of creation, a gentle reminder of the planet's capacity for renewal, and within us, the potential for our own deep, peaceful, and restorative connection to nature. Grasslands support a vast array of herbivores. Grasslands, also known as prairies, steppes, or savannas, are ecosystems dominated by grasses and other non-woody plants. These expansive landscapes, found across the globe from the North American prairies to the African savannas, are incredibly important for supporting life, particularly a diverse range of herbivores. The prevalence of grasses, which have evolved to thrive in environments with seasonal rainfall and periodic fires, creates an abundant food source for grazing animals. These herbivores, in turn, play a crucial role in shaping the structure and function of the grassland ecosystem. The types of herbivores found in a grassland vary depending on the specific location and climate. In North America, bison and pronghorn historically roamed the prairies in massive herds, grazing on the grasses and influencing plant growth patterns. In Africa, the savannas are home to a remarkable variety of herbivores, including zebras, wildebeest, elephants, giraffes, and numerous species of antelope. These animals graze on the grasses and other vegetation, contributing to the nutrient cycling within the ecosystem through their waste and trampling effects. Herbivores are not just passive consumers in these ecosystems, they actively shape the landscape. Their grazing habits influence the types of plants that can thrive, preventing the dominance of any single species and promoting a mosaic of plant communities. For example, grazing can reduce the buildup of dead plant material, which can fuel larger, more intense fires. These fires, in turn, can further shape the grassland, promoting the growth of certain grasses and suppressing woody plants. The presence of herbivores also influences the soil composition and structure. Their trampling can aerate the soil, improving water infiltration and nutrient cycling. Furthermore, their waste, such as dung, provides a rich source of nutrients that fertilize the soil and support plant growth. The relationship between herbivores and grasslands is a complex interplay of consumption, competition, and mutual benefit. The herbivores rely on the grasses for their survival, while the grasses benefit from the herbivores grazing, which can stimulate growth and prevent overgrowth. Predators such as lions, wolves, and coyotes also play a role in regulating the herbivore populations, preventing overgrazing and maintaining the health of the grassland ecosystem. The diversity of herbivores in a grassland is often directly correlated with the overall health and stability of the ecosystem. A greater variety of herbivores ensures that different plant species are grazed upon, preventing any single species from dominating and promoting biodiversity. This diversity also makes the ecosystem more resilient to disturbances, such as drought or disease, as different herbivores may be able to utilize different food sources. Managing and protecting grasslands is crucial for preserving the biodiversity and ecological integrity of these vital ecosystems. Conservation efforts include controlling grazing practices, preventing habitat fragmentation, and addressing threats such as climate change and invasive species. By understanding the intricate relationships between herbivores and grasslands, we can better appreciate the importance of these ecosystems and work towards their sustainable management for future generations. The vastness of grasslands and the sheer number of herbivores they support is a testament to the power of nature's interconnectedness, where life thrives in a delicate balance of consumption and creation. The gentle sway of grasses under a vast sky mirrors the quiet resilience within us, a reminder that sustenance and life's dance are always present, even in the simplest of landscapes. Asterisk 21. Deserts are adapted to arid conditions. Deserts, those landscapes sculpted by scarcity, are not barren wastelands, but rather highly specialized ecosystems, exquisitely adapted to survive and even thrive in conditions of extreme aridity. The defining characteristic of a desert is its low precipitation, typically receiving less than 250 millimeters, or about 10 inches, of rainfall per year. This lack of water shapes every aspect of the environment, influencing the types of plants and animals that can survive, as well as their behaviors and physical adaptations. The intense sunlight that bathes deserts throughout the year contributes to high temperatures, especially during the day, creating an environment that further exacerbates water loss. Plants in deserts have evolved remarkable strategies to cope with this aridity. Many have developed deep root systems, sometimes extending dozens of feet underground, to tap into scarce groundwater reserves. Others, like cacti, have evolved thick, waxy coatings on their stems and leaves to reduce water loss through transpiration, the process by which plants release water vapor. Cacti also have spines instead of leaves, further minimizing surface area and water loss. Some desert plants have short life cycles, completing their entire growth, flowering, and seed production within a few weeks after infrequent rainfall events. These ephemeral plants are a testament to nature's ability to seize opportunities, even in the harshest environments. Animals in deserts have also developed ingenious adaptations. Many are nocturnal, meaning they are active primarily at night when temperatures are cooler and water loss is minimized. Desert rodents, for example, obtain most of their water from the seeds they eat, and they produce highly concentrated urine to conserve precious fluids. Reptiles, with their scaly skin, are well suited to the desert environment, as their scales help prevent water loss. Some desert animals, like the kangaroo rat, can even survive without ever drinking water, obtaining all the moisture they need from their food and metabolic processes. The coloration of desert animals often provides camouflage, helping them blend in with the sandy or rocky terrain, providing protection from predators and allowing them to ambush prey more effectively. Desert ecosystems, despite their apparent harshness, are incredibly rich in biodiversity, with each organism playing a crucial role in the delicate balance of life. The very definition of survival is illustrated in the desert, as life adapts to the most difficult of conditions. The geological formations, the winds, the stark beauty of the landscape, all tell of the power of nature to sculpt and shape life itself. The desert, in its stark beauty and unforgiving conditions, is a profound reminder of the resilience of life, mirroring the capacity within us to adapt and thrive, even when faced with the driest of seasons. Aquatic ecosystems are diverse and dynamic. The world's waters, encompassing oceans, lakes, rivers, and wetlands, are home to an astonishing variety of ecosystems, each uniquely adapted to its specific environment. These aquatic realms, unlike terrestrial ones, are defined by the presence of water, which profoundly influences the organisms that inhabit them. The diversity within these aquatic ecosystems is staggering, ranging from the sunlit shallows teeming with life to the deep, dark abysses where unique creatures thrive. The dynamics of these ecosystems are also remarkable, constantly shaped by factors such as water flow, temperature, salinity, and the interactions between organisms. Consider the vastness of the oceans, covering over 70% of the Earth's surface. Within this immense expanse, we find diverse ecosystems like coral reefs, kelp forests, and open ocean environments. Coral reefs, often called the rainforests of the sea, are biodiversity hotspots, supporting a dazzling array of marine life. Kelp forests, found in colder waters, provide habitat and food for numerous species, creating underwater forests that sway with the currents. The open ocean, while seemingly barren from the surface, teems with life, from microscopic plankton to colossal whales. The ocean's currents, tides, and upwelling events constantly redistribute nutrients and influence the distribution of marine organisms. Lakes and rivers, the freshwater ecosystems, represent another significant category. Lakes, ranging from small ponds to massive inland seas, exhibit stratification, with distinct layers based on temperature and oxygen levels. The shores of lakes support diverse communities of plants and animals, and the open water is home to a variety of fish, invertebrates, and plankton. Rivers, flowing bodies of water, are dynamic systems, constantly shaping the landscape and transporting nutrients and sediments. The organisms living in rivers must adapt to the current, and these ecosystems often support unique species adapted to the flowing water. Wetlands, transitional zones between aquatic and terrestrial ecosystems, such as swamps, marshes, and bogs, are highly productive and provide critical habitat for numerous species, including migratory birds and amphibians. Wetlands play a crucial role in water filtration and flood control. The dynamics of aquatic ecosystems are influenced by a complex interplay of physical, chemical, and biological factors. Temperature affects the metabolic rates of organisms and the solubility of gases in water. Salinity, the salt content, determines which organisms can survive in a given environment. The availability of light is critical for photosynthesis, which forms the base of the food web in many aquatic ecosystems. Nutrient levels, such as nitrogen and phosphorus, influence the growth of plants and algae. The interactions between organisms, including predation, competition, and symbiosis, further shape the structure and function of aquatic ecosystems. Human activities, such as pollution, overfishing, and habitat destruction, pose significant threats to aquatic ecosystems. Pollution from agricultural runoff, industrial discharge, and sewage can contaminate water sources and harm aquatic organisms. Overfishing can deplete fish populations and disrupt the balance of food webs. Habitat destruction, such as the clearing of wetlands and the destruction of coral reefs, can lead to a loss of biodiversity and ecosystem services. Understanding the dynamics of aquatic ecosystems and the threats they face is crucial for their conservation and sustainable management. Protecting these vital habitats ensures the health of our planet and the well-being of future generations. The intricate web of life within these watery realms, from the smallest plankton to the largest whale, is a testament to nature's artistry and resilience. The continuous flow, the ebb and flow, the constant change, it's a mirror to the rhythms of our own lives, a reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. The dance of life in the water, so full of mystery and grace, echoes the quiet currents within ourselves, inviting us to find peace in the fluidity of existence. Freshwater ecosystems support unique life forms. Freshwater ecosystems, quite distinct from their marine counterparts, encompass a wide array of environments, including rivers, lakes, ponds, swamps, and wetlands. These systems are characterized by their relatively low salt content, a defining factor that shapes the types of organisms that can thrive within them. The physical and chemical properties of freshwater, such as temperature, oxygen levels, and nutrient availability, vary considerably depending on the specific environment, creating a mosaic of habitats. Rivers, for instance, are dynamic systems, constantly flowing and carrying nutrients downstream. They often support species adapted to strong currents, such as certain species of fish and invertebrates. The riparian zones, the areas bordering the river, are also critical, providing shade, food, and habitat for terrestrial and aquatic organisms. Lakes and ponds, on the other hand, are often more still and stratified, with layers of water at different temperatures and oxygen levels. This stratification can lead to distinct communities of organisms, with different species occupying different depths. Wetlands, including marshes, swamps, and bogs, are transitional zones between aquatic and terrestrial environments. They are often characterized by saturated soils and unique plant communities adapted to these conditions. Wetlands play a vital role in filtering water, providing habitat for a vast array of species, and mitigating floods. The unique life forms in freshwater ecosystems include a diverse array of plants, animals, and microorganisms, each adapted to the specific conditions of their habitat. Aquatic plants, such as water lilies and cattails, provide shelter and food for many organisms. Fish, amphibians, reptiles, and invertebrates, such as insects, crustaceans, and mollusks, are common inhabitants. Microorganisms, including bacteria, algae, and protozoa, play essential roles in nutrient cycling and energy flow. The diversity of life in freshwater ecosystems is often threatened by human activities, such as pollution, habitat destruction, and climate change. Protecting and restoring these valuable ecosystems is crucial for maintaining biodiversity and ensuring the health of our planet. These ecosystems are fragile, and even seemingly small changes in their environment can have cascading effects throughout the entire web of life. Understanding the intricate relationships and delicate balance within freshwater environments is key to their conservation. The careful management of water resources, the control of pollution, and the restoration of degraded habitats are essential steps in preserving the unique life forms that depend on these precious ecosystems. The gentle currents of freshwater, like the quiet flow of thought, nourish life in its most delicate forms, reminding us of the interconnectedness and value of all things. Marine ecosystems cover most of the Earth's surface. The vast oceans, covering over 70% of our planet, are home to a stunning array of ecosystems. From the sunlit surface waters to the crushing depths of the abyssal plains, these marine environments support an extraordinary diversity of life. The sheer scale of these ecosystems is difficult to fully comprehend, with the oceans acting as a global circulatory system, influencing climate, weather patterns, and the very air we breathe. The open ocean, or pelagic zone, is a largely three-dimensional habitat, ranging from the surface to the seafloor. Within this zone, the photic zone, where sunlight penetrates, allows for photosynthesis and sustains a multitude of organisms, including phytoplankton, the microscopic plants that form the base of the marine food web. These tiny organisms, often too small to see with the naked eye, are responsible for a significant portion of the Earth's oxygen production, a fact which underscores their importance to all life. The surface waters also teem with zooplankton, tiny animals that graze on the phytoplankton, and larger organisms such as jellyfish and various species of fish. As you descend deeper into the ocean, the photic zone gives way to the aphotic zone, where sunlight does not reach. Here, life adapts to the darkness, with organisms relying on other sources of energy, such as the chemical energy produced by chemosynthesis at hydrothermal vents. The abyssal plain, the vast, flat expanse of the deep ocean floor, is a harsh environment, yet it supports a surprising variety of creatures adapted to the extreme pressure, cold temperatures, and lack of light. Coastal ecosystems such as coral reefs, estuaries, and kelp forests are incredibly productive and diverse habitats. Coral reefs, often called the rainforests of the sea, are built by colonies of coral polyps, tiny animals that secrete calcium carbonate skeletons. These reefs support an astounding array of fish, invertebrates, and other organisms, providing shelter, food, and breeding grounds. Estuaries, where freshwater rivers meet the ocean, are nutrient-rich environments that support a wide variety of plant and animal life, including many species of fish and shellfish. Kelp forests, found in colder waters, are underwater forests created by giant kelp, a type of brown algae. These forests provide habitat and food for numerous marine species, and are also vital in absorbing carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. The deep sea, the largest and least explored biome on Earth, is a realm of perpetual darkness, extreme pressure, and cold temperatures. Despite these challenging conditions, the deep sea supports a unique and fascinating array of life. Hydrothermal vents, found near areas of volcanic activity, release chemicals that support chemosynthetic bacteria, which in turn support a variety of unusual organisms, including giant tube worms and specialized crustaceans. The deep sea is also home to bioluminescent creatures, which use light to communicate, attract prey, and evade predators. The study of marine ecosystems is a constant process of discovery, with new species and ecological relationships being revealed all the time, highlighting the ocean's profound mystery. The study of marine ecosystems also highlights the interconnectedness of life on Earth. Changes in one part of the ocean can have far-reaching consequences, affecting everything from global climate patterns to the health of coastal communities. The oceans absorb a significant amount of the carbon dioxide released into the atmosphere, helping to regulate the Earth's climate. However, the oceans are also facing significant threats from human activities, including pollution, overfishing, and climate change. Protecting and restoring marine ecosystems is essential for ensuring the health of the planet and the well-being of future generations. Understanding the delicate balance of these underwater worlds is a crucial step towards preserving their beauty and biodiversity. The sheer scale of the ocean's influence, from the air we breathe to the climate we experience, reminds us of our profound connection to the natural world. The vastness of the ocean, stretching across the globe, mirrors the boundless capacity for wonder within each of us. Human activities significantly impact ecosystems. The impact of human activities on ecosystems is, perhaps, one of the most pressing issues of our time, a vast and complex web of interconnected effects. From the smallest microbe to the largest whale, virtually every organism on Earth is touched, directly or indirectly, by the presence and actions of humanity. The scale of this influence is immense, spanning continents, oceans, and even the atmosphere itself. Consider, for example, the sheer scale of land use changes. Forests, grasslands, and wetlands, once vast and unbroken, are increasingly fragmented by agriculture, urbanization, and infrastructure development. These changes lead to habitat loss, the single greatest threat to biodiversity. As natural habitats shrink, the populations of countless species decline, sometimes to the point of extinction. The loss of habitat also disrupts the delicate balance of ecological processes, such as nutrient cycling and water regulation, impacting the health and resilience of the entire ecosystem. Beyond habitat alteration, pollution represents another significant threat. The release of pollutants from industrial waste to agricultural runoff contaminates air, water, and soil. This pollution can directly harm organisms, causing disease, impairing reproduction, and even leading to death. Furthermore, pollutants can accumulate in the food chain, a process known as biomagnification, where concentrations increase at each trophic level. This can have devastating consequences for top predators, including humans. The introduction of synthetic chemicals, such as pesticides and herbicides, can also have far-reaching effects, disrupting ecological processes and impacting non-target species. Climate change, driven by human emissions of greenhouse gases, is perhaps the most pervasive and far-reaching impact. Rising global temperatures, altered precipitation patterns, and increased frequency of extreme weather events are already affecting ecosystems worldwide. Coral reefs are bleaching, forests are experiencing increased wildfires, and species are shifting their ranges in an attempt to adapt to changing conditions. The pace of climate change is so rapid that many ecosystems may not be able to adapt quickly enough, leading to widespread ecosystem collapse. The acidification of the oceans, caused by the absorption of excess carbon dioxide, poses a severe threat to marine life, particularly organisms with calcium carbonate shells and skeletons. Overexploitation of natural resources further exacerbates the problem. Overfishing, for example, has depleted fish stocks in many parts of the world, disrupting marine food webs and leading to the decline of dependent species. Similarly, unsustainable logging practices can lead to deforestation and soil erosion. The extraction of minerals and fossil fuels can also have significant environmental impacts, including habitat destruction, pollution, and climate change. The unsustainable use of water resources can lead to water scarcity and ecosystem degradation. The introduction of invasive species, whether intentional or accidental, is another major threat. Invasive species can outcompete native organisms for resources, prey on native species, and alter ecosystem processes. The introduction of the zebra mussel to the Great Lakes, for example, has had a devastating impact on native mussel populations and altered the entire ecosystem. The spread of invasive plants can also alter fire regimes and other ecological processes. Addressing these impacts requires a multifaceted approach, including reducing greenhouse gas emissions, protecting and restoring habitats, reducing pollution, managing resources sustainably, and controlling invasive species. It also requires a fundamental shift in our relationship with the natural world, recognizing the intrinsic value of ecosystems and the importance of living in harmony with nature. This involves individual actions, such as reducing our carbon footprint and supporting sustainable practices, as well as collective efforts, such as enacting policies that protect the environment and promoting international cooperation. The choices we make today will determine the health and resilience of ecosystems for generations to come. It requires a profound understanding of the complex web of life and a commitment to protecting the planet's precious biodiversity. The weight of our actions, like ripples in a pond, expands outwards, touching every living thing, yet within this truth lies the profound opportunity to reshape our course, to heal and restore, allowing the intricate tapestry of life to flourish once more. Asterisk 26. Deforestation leads to habitat loss and climate change. Deforestation, the clearing of forests for other land uses, is a significant threat to ecosystems worldwide. The conversion of forests to agriculture, urban development, and logging operations has far-reaching consequences, primarily stemming from the loss of habitat. Forests provide homes and resources for countless species, from tiny insects to large mammals. When forests are removed, these organisms lose their shelter, food sources, and breeding grounds, often leading to population declines and even extinctions. The scale of habitat loss is staggering. Vast areas of forest are lost each year, particularly in tropical regions, which harbor the highest levels of biodiversity. This habitat destruction not only impacts individual species, but also disrupts the intricate web of interactions that sustain the entire ecosystem. The loss of trees also reduces the capacity of the Earth to absorb carbon dioxide, a greenhouse gas, exacerbating climate change. Trees act as carbon sinks, storing large amounts of carbon within their wood, leaves, and roots. When forests are cleared, this stored carbon is released back into the atmosphere, primarily through burning or decomposition. This influx of carbon dioxide contributes to the greenhouse effect, trapping heat and causing global temperatures to rise. The impact of deforestation on climate change is substantial, making it a major driver of global warming. Deforestation also affects local and regional climates. Forests play a crucial role in regulating rainfall patterns and soil moisture. Their presence promotes cloud formation and helps to maintain a stable water cycle. When forests are removed, the land becomes more susceptible to erosion, flooding, and drought. The loss of trees reduces the amount of water that is absorbed by the soil and released back into the atmosphere through transpiration, leading to drier conditions. In addition, deforestation can contribute to desertification, the process by which fertile land degrades into desert. The combination of habitat loss and climate change creates a powerful feedback loop, where deforestation intensifies climate change, which in turn further degrades habitats. This cycle can lead to a decline in ecosystem health and the loss of essential ecosystem services, such as clean water and air. Efforts to combat deforestation include sustainable forestry practices, reforestation initiatives, and the establishment of protected areas. Reducing the demand for products derived from deforestation, such as timber and palm oil, is also crucial. International agreements and policies aimed at reducing greenhouse gas emissions and protecting forests are essential for mitigating the negative impacts of deforestation and promoting the long-term health of our planet. The preservation of forests is not only critical for the survival of countless species, but also for the stability of the global climate and the well-being of all life on Earth. The choices we make today regarding land use and consumption will have lasting consequences for the future of our forests and the planet. Our actions, like the roots of trees, reach far beyond what we can immediately see, shaping the air we breathe and the world we inhabit. Asterisk 27. Pollution disrupts ecosystem processes. Pollution, in its myriad forms, represents a significant threat to the delicate balance of ecosystems worldwide. It encompasses a wide range of contaminants, from industrial waste and agricultural runoff to plastic debris and atmospheric pollutants, each with the potential to inflict damage on various levels. The introduction of these foreign substances can severely disrupt the intricate processes that govern the health and stability of an ecosystem, leading to cascading effects that can be felt throughout the entire web of life. One of the most immediate impacts of pollution is its direct toxicity to organisms. Many pollutants, such as heavy metals, pesticides, and certain chemicals, are poisonous to plants and animals. They can interfere with essential biological functions, causing cellular damage, reproductive problems, and even death. In aquatic ecosystems, for instance, pollutants like mercury from industrial sources can bioaccumulate in the food chain, becoming increasingly concentrated in the tissues of larger predators, and posing a significant health risk to both wildlife and humans. Similarly, In terrestrial ecosystems, soil contamination can leach into groundwater, affecting plant growth and poisoning herbivores. Beyond direct toxicity, pollution can also disrupt the physical and chemical conditions of an ecosystem. For example, excessive nutrient runoff from fertilizers can lead to eutrophication in aquatic environments. This process involves an overabundance of nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus, which fuels excessive algal growth. The resulting algal blooms can deplete oxygen levels in the water, creating dead zones where fish and other aquatic organisms cannot survive. Air pollution, too, can alter the chemical composition of the atmosphere, leading to acid rain and smog, which can damage forests, crops, and human health. Pollution can also have profound effects on the biodiversity within an ecosystem. Some species are more sensitive to pollutants than others, and their decline can trigger a ripple effect throughout the food web. For example, the loss of a keystone species, such as a top predator, due to pollution can lead to an overpopulation of its prey, which in turn can decimate plant life or other organisms at lower trophic levels. Pollution can also create selective pressures that favor pollution-tolerant species, potentially leading to a loss of overall biodiversity and a simplification of the ecosystem. Furthermore, pollution can damage habitats, making them less suitable for wildlife. Plastic debris, for instance, can entangle animals, leading to injury or starvation. Oil spills can coat the feathers of seabirds and the fur of marine mammals, compromising their ability to regulate their body temperature and rendering them vulnerable to the elements. The destruction of habitats can, in turn, lead to a decline in species populations and a loss of ecosystem services, such as pollination and water filtration. The cumulative impacts of pollution are far-reaching and complex. Pollution can exacerbate climate change by contributing to greenhouse gas emissions and reducing the capacity of ecosystems to sequester carbon. It can also increase the spread of disease by weakening the immune systems of organisms and creating favorable conditions for pathogens to thrive. Addressing pollution requires a multifaceted approach, including stricter regulations, the development of cleaner technologies, and increased public awareness. The protection of ecosystems from pollution is not just an environmental imperative. It is essential for human health and well-being. The intricate dance of life within an ecosystem is a fragile symphony, easily silenced by the intrusion of pollutants. The impact of pollution extends beyond the immediate damage, often leaving behind a legacy of disruption that can take decades or even centuries to heal. The resilience of ecosystems is tested by the constant assault of pollutants, and the delicate balance of life can be irrevocably altered. The beauty of life in its multifaceted forms reminds us that the smallest disruption can send ripples through the entire web of existence. Asterisk 28. Invasive species threaten native biodiversity. Invasive species, also sometimes called exotic or non-native species, are organisms that establish themselves and spread aggressively in an ecosystem where they did not evolve. These species can be plants, animals, fungi, or microbes, and they often arrive in new environments through human activities, such as international trade, travel, or even accidental transport. Once introduced, invasive species can have devastating impacts on native biodiversity, the variety of life in a specific area. Their success often stems from a lack of natural predators, diseases, or competitors in their new environment, allowing them to reproduce rapidly and outcompete native species for resources like food, water, and sunlight. This can lead to a decline in the populations of native plants and animals, and in some cases, even extinction. The mechanisms by which invasive species cause harm are varied and complex. Some, like the zebra mussel, a small freshwater mussel native to the Black and Caspian seas, can rapidly colonize and clog water intake pipes, outcompete native mussels, and alter the entire aquatic ecosystem. Other invasive species, like the kudzu vine from Asia, can smother native vegetation, depriving them of sunlight and resources. The brown tree snake, introduced to Guam after World War II, has decimated native bird and reptile populations, leading to significant ecological disruption. The introduction of the emerald ash borer, a beetle native to Asia, has caused widespread mortality of ash trees across North America. The impacts of invasive species extend beyond ecological damage. They can also have significant economic consequences, costing billions of dollars annually in control efforts, damage to infrastructure, and loss of valuable natural resources. The spread of invasive species is often exacerbated by factors such as climate change, which can create conditions more favorable for the establishment and spread of non-native species. Furthermore, habitat fragmentation and degradation, often caused by human activities like deforestation and urbanization, can make ecosystems more vulnerable to invasion. Controlling invasive species is a complex and often challenging task. Prevention is the most effective approach, including strict biosecurity measures to prevent the introduction of new species. Once an invasive species is established, control methods can include physical removal, chemical treatments, and biological control, using natural enemies to suppress the invasive population. However, these methods can be costly, and biological control, in particular, requires careful research to ensure it does not introduce new problems. Ultimately, managing invasive species requires a holistic approach that considers the interconnectedness of ecosystems and the importance of preserving biodiversity, recognizing that every species plays a role in the intricate web of life. It's a constant battle, a delicate balancing act, and a testament to the power of unintended consequences. The arrival of the unexpected, the flourishing of the alien. It reminds us that even within the most carefully constructed gardens of nature, there is always an element of the untamed, a whisper of the unpredictable that echoes the vastness of our own inner landscapes. Conservation efforts are essential for ecosystem protection. Our understanding of ecosystems and the crucial role they play in sustaining life has led to a growing global movement towards conservation. Conservation efforts encompass a wide range of activities, all aimed at protecting and preserving the health and biodiversity of our planet's ecosystems. These efforts are driven by the recognition that human well-being is intrinsically linked to the health of the natural world. One of the cornerstones of conservation is the establishment and management of protected areas. National parks, wildlife refuges, and marine sanctuaries are designated to safeguard specific ecosystems and the species that inhabit them. These protected areas can range in size from small local reserves to vast wilderness areas. They serve to shield vulnerable habitats from destructive human activities, such as logging, mining, and development. Effective management of these areas involves careful monitoring of species populations, habitat restoration, and the control of invasive species. In addition, these protected areas can serve as vital scientific research sites, helping us to further understand ecosystem dynamics and develop more effective conservation strategies. Another critical aspect of conservation is the sustainable management of natural resources. This involves using resources in a way that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. Sustainable forestry, for example, focuses on harvesting trees at a rate that allows forests to regenerate naturally. Sustainable fishing practices aim to maintain healthy fish populations and prevent overfishing, which can devastate marine ecosystems. Sustainable agriculture promotes farming methods that minimize soil erosion, reduce the use of harmful pesticides and fertilizers, and conserve water resources. These practices ensure that ecosystems can continue to provide essential services, such as clean water, clean air, and fertile soil, for generations to come. Combating pollution is also a vital component of conservation. Pollution from various sources, including industrial waste, agricultural runoff, and plastic debris, can severely damage ecosystems. Conservation efforts include implementing stricter regulations to control pollution, developing innovative technologies to clean up contaminated sites, and promoting responsible waste management practices. Reducing our reliance on fossil fuels and transitioning to renewable energy sources can also help to reduce air and water pollution, lessening the impact on ecosystems. Educating the public about the harmful effects of pollution and encouraging individual actions, such as reducing waste and using sustainable products, is crucial in this endeavor. Restoration ecology is a rapidly growing field within conservation that focuses on repairing damaged ecosystems. This involves actively intervening to help degraded habitats recover their natural functions and biodiversity. Restoration efforts can range from replanting native vegetation in deforested areas to removing invasive species that are harming native ecosystems. Wetland restoration projects can help to improve water quality and provide habitat for wildlife. Coral reef restoration involves transplanting coral fragments to help rebuild damaged reefs. Restoration projects often require a long-term commitment and a deep understanding of ecosystem processes, but they are essential for mitigating the effects of human activities and bringing ecosystems back to a healthy state. International cooperation is essential for effective conservation, as many environmental challenges transcend national borders. The Convention on Biological Diversity, CBD, is a global agreement aimed at conserving biodiversity, promoting the sustainable use of natural resources, and ensuring the fair and equitable sharing of benefits arising from the use of genetic resources. Numerous other international treaties and agreements address specific environmental issues, such as climate change, deforestation, and the illegal wildlife trade. These agreements provide a framework for countries to work together to protect shared ecosystems, such as migratory bird habitats, transboundary rivers, and the open ocean. Collaborative efforts, including data sharing, joint research projects, and coordinated conservation strategies, are crucial for tackling complex environmental problems. Community involvement is also an integral part of successful conservation. Engaging local communities in conservation efforts can foster a sense of ownership and responsibility for protecting ecosystems. This can involve providing educational programs, creating economic opportunities through ecotourism, and empowering local communities to manage natural resources sustainably. Indigenous communities often possess traditional ecological knowledge, which can be invaluable in developing effective conservation strategies. By working together, conservationists, scientists, policymakers, and local communities can create a more sustainable future for both people and the planet. Ultimately, conservation is about recognizing the inherent value of nature and our dependence on healthy ecosystems for our own survival and well-being. The ongoing challenges faced by ecosystems, such as climate change, habitat loss, and pollution, require sustained and innovative conservation efforts. These challenges demand a holistic approach that integrates scientific knowledge, policy, community involvement, and individual action. By embracing conservation principles, we can safeguard the delicate balance of ecosystems and ensure that future generations can enjoy the benefits of a healthy planet. The protection of ecosystems is a collective responsibility, requiring commitment from individuals, communities, governments, and organizations around the world. Conservation, in its essence, is a testament to our interconnectedness, a recognition that the health of the planet is inextricably linked to our own well-being, offering us a profound sense of responsibility and a quiet hope for a harmonious future. Ecosystems demonstrate the interconnectedness of all life. The final and perhaps most profound understanding we can glean from our exploration of ecosystems is the undeniable truth of their interconnectedness. Every element, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale, is linked in a complex web of interactions. This web isn't a static structure. It's a dynamic, ever-changing dance of energy and matter, a constant exchange that sustains life as we know it. Consider the forest, a vibrant tapestry of life. Sunlight captured by towering trees fuels the entire system. These trees, in turn, provide shelter and food for countless animals, from tiny insects to majestic deer. As the trees shed their leaves, or eventually fall, they become food for decomposers, fungi, and bacteria that break down organic matter and release nutrients back into the soil. These nutrients are then absorbed by the roots of the trees, completing the cycle. The air we breathe, the water we drink, all of these are integral parts of the interconnected web. The very composition of the atmosphere is influenced by the processes within ecosystems, such as the photosynthesis of plants, which releases oxygen. The water cycle, driven by the sun's energy, moves water through the ecosystem, from the atmosphere to the land and back again, carrying nutrients and supporting life at every stage. Even the smallest disruptions can have far-reaching consequences. The removal of a single species, a keystone species for instance, can trigger a cascade effect, altering the entire structure and function of the ecosystem. The introduction of an invasive species can outcompete native organisms, disrupting the delicate balance. Pollution, too, can contaminate the water and soil, poisoning the life that depends on them. The interconnectedness of ecosystems underscores the importance of biodiversity. A diverse ecosystem with a wide variety of species is more resilient to change. It's like a strong chain where each link represents a different species. The more links there are, the less likely the chain is to break. This interconnectedness isn't limited to a single ecosystem. It extends across the entire planet. The oceans, the forests, the deserts, all of these are connected through global cycles of water, carbon, and other essential elements. Changes in one part of the world can have repercussions in another, highlighting the global nature of our shared existence. Understanding this interconnectedness is not merely an academic exercise. It's a fundamental shift in perspective. It encourages us to view ourselves not as separate entities, but as integral parts of the living world. It fosters a sense of responsibility, a recognition that our actions have consequences, and that we must act with care and consideration for the well-being of the entire planet. It calls for sustainable practices, for conservation efforts, and for a deep respect for the intrinsic value of all life. It reminds us that we are all, in the grand scheme of things, connected. The profound beauty of this interconnectedness, this intricate dance of life, mirrors the interconnectedness within ourselves, within our own bodies, and within our own minds, a comforting truth to rest within. Hello there, and welcome to the Scientist Sleepy. Tonight, we have explored the intricate workings of ecosystems, those dynamic webs of life that sustain our planet. We've journeyed through the fundamental principles that govern these interconnected systems, from the flow of energy to the cycling of essential nutrients. Our calm exploration has covered the essential roles of producers, consumers, and decomposers, and how they interact within complex food webs. We've learned about the impact of natural disturbances, the importance of biodiversity, and the delicate balance maintained by keystone species. We've considered the cycles that sustain all life, from the water that gives us life to the carbon that forms our bodies. We've gently traveled through the vast and varied biomes of our planet, from the lush forests and expansive grasslands to the arid deserts and the depths of the oceans. We've seen how these diverse environments, each uniquely adapted to its climate, contribute to the overall health and stability of our world. We've also acknowledged the profound impact of human activities on ecosystems, from the challenges of deforestation and pollution to the threats posed by invasive species. We have touched on the crucial role of conservation efforts in protecting these precious systems for future generations. As we conclude this exploration, remember that you, too, are an integral part of this vast and interconnected web of life. Your existence, like every other being on this planet, is interwoven with the delicate balance of the ecosystem. Every breath you take, every thought you have, is connected to the grand, cosmic dance of life. Feel the profound interconnectedness of all things, and let this awareness bring you a sense of peace and belonging. The complexity of the natural world can be overwhelming, but it is also a testament to the beauty and resilience of life. Allow the gentle rhythm of the cycles we discussed to guide you towards a state of deep relaxation. Sleep well, dear seeker of quiet wonder. It is time to rest now. If you happen to still be awake, you can drift into the next chapter now.